makes it a little bit easier, and it's quite surprising to see Reply Totem not in person, as they usually are at these boot camps over in Italy, especially because pretty much all 2 of the 3 members are from that place. And look at this. This is not what you expect at all. 72% in favor of Zeta Division. Obviously, with them taking them down in a 3-0 last month, it may sway the public just a little bit, but it's definitely not this one-sided in my eyes. I give it a 50-50 at best.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, we went for Reply Totem. I believe even Arc went for Reply Totem. So we still have faith in Totem, but it's really close. And that was probably the hardest prediction to make all day, as it was last month. And last month, Zeta did take it quite convincingly. Draft is kicking in incredibly fast here, as we already have a first pick of Nani for Zeta. Reply Totem going Gus and Eve. We are in Shooting Star. Our bans are going to be Tick, Sprout, and Grom for Reply Totem, taking out every single thrower at Zeta Division. Ban out RT, Gene, and Max.
Bonnie's going to be their next selection. I do like that. I think obviously it's got that tendency to go very aggressive in those certain moments, and if you do it right, if you play it right, then it's going to be pretty much perfect. So smart decision, I think, from Zeta Division to go for that. And yes, it's going to take quite a lot of shots to take down these parasites that Mori's going to be spawning in. And with Eve pretty much being a very dominant mid on this map, now that there's no wall break, you can kind of slide across that water, peek a wall one way, peek it the other way, and kind of on that unpredictability of which way you're going to go, which no other brawler can do at this point. And Janet as the last pick from Zeta Division to round out their comp. It's a bit of a... I'm not sure how much I like that. I don't know if it's got the range to compete with what Reply Totem have so far, and also what they might pick next.
I have that final pick to solidify that comp a little bit more on the side of Totem. You're gonna go for the Carl, so some aggressive ideas across the board. Don't mind it per se, but I don't know. I feel like both comps have some merit. They're both interesting in their own rights. Don't feel like Janet is particularly strong on Shooting Star at the moment either. Obviously, it is there to deal with the Eve pick and the hatchlings coming in, which are a bit more of a problem for Bonnie and Nani to take care of. But either way, I feel like both comps have their own merit and can make it work either way.
So as we get into the game now, Blue Star is going to be firmly in the hands of Reply Totem as they go instantly in with this flying hook, and they continue this aggression forwards as well. Now over to that left hand side, Jiro going to get pinched in, but Joker getting some heavy fire, and now Maru puts himself in a poor position as he gets pinched in by all 3 members, wastes his spin, and obviously he's a flying hook down by going in for the Blue Star as well. Now at a deficit of 1 star, so it's Division are up.
A bit of a disappointing start there from Totem. Maru was over-aggressive. He got the Blue Star, as every good call shoot. Got punished afterwards. However, a nice gadget from Joker onto the left-hand side will help claim that first kill. Joker will be tanking the peep and doesn't even need to shield up. No stress there, as the hatchlings are a little bit confused for a second, but eventually will go down, and so does the gadget from Meow as well.
Yeah, Joker's going to be eating up that peep with his shield. Nice move to make, and they are still up, so 1 star still needed, and more. He might be that 1 star, but he gets the jump out of the drop the base, survives a little bit longer, and that might allow Maru to go aggressive on this right-hand side and try and recover something. They're actually going to wait it out. Still 45 seconds on the clock, so plenty of time for a comeback. They are only 1 star down as well, so it doesn't matter who it is, but Meow is looking juicy right now.
Yeah, he has 4 stars to his name, and if he were to go down, it would be a bit of a disaster here for Zeta. Although, any kill would do. And beautiful follow-up there as well, as Joker gadgets him out of existence. And Reply Totem now suddenly lead by 3 stars with 15 seconds left. This is going to be the final chance. They sacrifice Maru a bit early by my taste. He did have the shield to work with, but even that wasn't enough. 5 seconds left. Mari, incredibly low HP. He's jumping away. They're all low. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but a 1-star.
Used to have that kind of, those leading stars used up at a little bit of a later time when they came a little bit more aggressive and they were a little bit more desperate. You could maybe extend it instead of lose the lead a little bit more, but Joker trying to pinch round into the mid there as Meow. Looking like he's sitting quite nicely, leading in favor of Reply Totem once more, thanks to the flying hook.
Now, low HP, forced to fall back. Joker also needs to be careful because he did get tagged heavily by Garo. So far, it's just that blue star making up the difference as the hatchlings are placed down by Mari for a chance to maybe push forwards with them.
Yeah, Peep coming out now, and that should be a free few hits for Maru onto Jiro, but he actually gets away. Little shot does connect, but shield provided by Maru keeps him alive, and I don't think he necessarily needed it, but always worthwhile to make sure Maru's going to have this. Babies coming out now, the pets, and drop the bait's going to place quite high up, not really getting a lot of value at the moment considering they're so far cemented in spawn. And honestly, I don't think Totem are too sad about that. You know, they can take advantage of the aggression that Zeta Division have got to bring in.
Joker, low HP, taking yet another P. Maori also in a pretty bad position. Maori does have his super, and so has at least one flying hook left, so could decide to aggress at any time and punish his opposition. Gonna be doing that just yet, as Maori is also cornered up on the right side, and Maru is going aggressive and gets punished for it. Meow could just fly up if he needs to, because now Zeta Division are leading by 1 star as we are heading for a final countdown.
Yeah, it doesn't really want to take flight as it would make it a 1v2. Try to go for the tank there, actually, as Peeps missed. Shots coming through from Maru, and now they've got control. Can they follow up and finish this one off? They get the kill. The jump in, though, return from Naui. The babies are tanking. Maru gets the kill. It's traded out. But race.
Well, double switch is going to be up next, and that's going to be a very different vibe. More aggressive, and the bushes enable you to, with lots of speed gears and vision gears that are often at play here, and it's one of the maps which I think did change the meta quite a bit as we started seeing the more versatile mids. It's always something I like to bring up, but I think it's a very interesting, fresh facet to the game, and Brawlers like Crow demonstrate exactly that. He can be played on lane, which is typically where you'll see him, but if need be, if your mid has a really bad matchup against his opposition, you can swap over very nicely, and it still works quite nicely with his range, with his features. So I like that aspect a lot, that you see very often on double swoosh, and that you can really capitalize on with brawlers like Crow.
Yeah, I always do like the Pam though, I will say, you know, kind of like, you're really liking the Crow, or I just think Pam's so strong, and especially against the Crow as well, I feel, you know, when you can establish a turret, whether that be kind of behind the little right-hand side wall, or if you're playing the left-hand side just a little bit more defensively, or you can place it that even further aggressively, if you manage to get all the way up there as well. But Maury's going to be taking the Sandy now. It's the second pick for Reply Totem, and Sandy's been kind of bursting further and further into the meta. It was actually Reply Totem who played it a little bit earlier on in Hard Rock Mine, so whether they'll be able to have the same success or not is the question. And honestly, they didn't have that much success with the Brawler until it got a super, then it really started to show its worth.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit the name of the game for Sandy, to be honest. Very reliant on the super to provide all the utility you need for your team. Sometimes a little bit lackluster without it. So Amber is going to be the second pick for Zeta Division. I like it here. I know Ark loves Amber, especially on a map like this. I don't mind it. I think the utility from burning up the bushes is super useful for sure, but I do feel like sometimes it does struggle a little bit because the mid-range where it really shines, it's just often not quite allowed by your opposition, where they will either get up close enough to be a nightmare to you and win the matchup, or far enough that you can kind of play around your range as well. The Mr. P is the real head scratcher here for me. We saw him played once earlier by Aphelion earlier this morning, with pretty much no success whatsoever. That was on Hard Rock Mine. We'll see the Mortis now from Mary. What is this rap was so normal, and then suddenly the two last picks are the craziest ones of the entire day.
Well, I mean, Mortis, to be fair, has kind of a bit of a say in this, right? You're against the Amber, you're against the Mr. P. It kind of makes sense to bring something like that in, something aggressive. But to start with, I don't know why they brought Mr. P out to start with. It was maybe a little bit questionable. But let's see how it plays out, because I'm intrigued to see if they can really make this Mr. P work, or if they're just going to get completely dominated by the aggressive Mortis. And at the end of the day, I'm surprised they even went Mortis instead of something like Sam or something, you know, more aggressive that we've kind of seen being in the meta a little more recently.
Well, I guess Mortis deals maybe a tiny little bit better with the crow slows, just because he can dash and those aren't affected by the crow slows. I don't know. You know, going for a little bit of a stretch here. But to be fair, I don't mind having to justify a Mortis pick. It's been a rare occurrence lately in the BSC. Doesn't end up going down, but he's been doing a good job so far. It was the gem carrier that did fall earlier for Reply Totem, causing a little bit of a problem to that extent. As Meow does have his super now as well, so he's going to be quite evasive if the Mortis were to get up close.
Yeah, well, with this kind of burned down now, it's definitely a bit of an issue, but Mario looking for the gem carrier. Gonna have that super as well, finds it, gets the heals, gonna try dash out, bring those gems to his team. What a play! I mean, we can't question the Mortis anymore, can we? Because that was just incredible. He gets the kill, brings the gems back to his gem carrier, and Joker can't be far off a super either. If he finds Naui here with this stun, he should be able to get one back, but actually goes a little bit too preemptive. But Mario's off it again. He's coming back for more, gets the kill once more. Super gonna be wasted though, but Crow jumps in to try and evade him. Super avail from Joker. The countdown starts, and it's working.
Dude, Maru was literally a human gene pool. He went in, took the gems, brought them back. Incredible stuff from him, as Reply Totem will be locking in the first game of Gem Grab, and Zeta Division, their mistakes. As, I mean, you know, there was one team that they needed to study more than any other this year, and that's been Zeta, just because they were the only ones to really beat them this consistently. Let's see, though, how this second game of Gem Grab is gonna go, as we have a bit of an awkward fight across the board, but it is gonna result in a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Reply Totem.
Yeah, Joker just survives that one as well, surviving with those 4 gems on a narrow amount of HP. This grass being burned down now. Didn't seem to stop Maru last time, and I don't think it's going to stop him again. He's got the coiled snake ready to go here, and Jiro's just going to step out the bush. He's going to get absolutely obliterated. Super follows up once again, and Pam should be able to finish Meow off there. And even if he doesn't, he's done the same again. He's brought the gems back to Joker, and he does go down, but it doesn't really matter.
I love it. I honestly love the idea. It's working so well as well for Reply Totem. Zeta need to figure something out, as Maru is going to be falling this time around. Joker also low HP, and as a Sandy, can't really afford to play too aggressive in that sort of position. Maru has a healing station. He's going to place it down more aggressively on the right-hand side, as Maru goes in, is able to get the kill this time around, but the burn will trade it out once more. It's going to be a little bit of the danger with that interaction. If the Mortis is too low HP, he'll just burn down to his demise.
Got to be one shot off a super at this point, because he's been playing for it nearly the entire game. Maru just needs to try and open up some room for him to either pick up this last gem or just get the kills and move out with the gems himself. Gonna go in. He's not gonna be able to get that kill once more, and just trying to work for his super. They've got a bit of time. They know they can turn this one round, even if the countdown starts for Zeta. They've definitely still got a bit of a foot in the door.
Oh, there it is. Maru going in, and he's gonna miss the bats. Garo was so close to him as well. That would have been a fantastic pickup. Instead, it's gonna be a countdown locked in for Zeta Division. And this could be a problematic one. 11 gems now as well. I think they might still have time with the respawn. They should have time for another gem to respawn, although I'm not 100% positive on that one. 2-1 does spawn, but it spawns on the wrong side earlier. Let's see if that's going to be enough to build up some momentum and contest this set. As Zeta Division, they don't want to let Reply Totem be 2 sets up.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like they managed to handle the Mortis just a little bit better, and yes, he definitely should have got the kill. Could have auto-aimed that super instead of being greedy and trying to get more heals off it than just getting the kill and getting back with the gems. But chose to try and play his heart out, and I mean, at this point, stun comes in from Joker. Can't be far off a super, but didn't actually get one in the entirety of the last game, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing any, to be honest, which, to be fair, as a gem carrier, it's not really your role to go aggressive and try to chain supers. but it is always welcome. And with the lack of range, it can be a bit of a problem getting in that sort of situation. Meow with a beautiful jump in, and that one is going to result in the gem carrier falling and already 9 gems being locked in by Zeta Division.
Yeah, Maru's going to get slowed out there. Another jump comes in. Joker gets the stun off onto him, but they're going to be too late to be healing up here. They're still burning down from this crow damage. Maru is the only one who can really turn this thing around. Maori gets the super, might have some heals off here. Going in now. He misses the shot. He misses the shot, and I might have not even been able to do it anyway. Maybe if he got that one, he would have got a super and finished it off. But
It's in how many supers you get, right? And considering the lowest one was still above 200 on side of Zeta and Joker at 77, it's a pretty drastic difference, and it does show quite heavily how much of a difference it makes in the amount of supers that he was able to bring in, which I really don't remember seeing any in the entirety of the set. Really, maybe 1 or 2, but that's being optimistic here, to be honest, and that needs to be approached differently as we move forward here. And off the bat, it's going to be an RT first pick here for Out in the Open instead of Reply Totem, met immediately by the Brock for Zeta's pick. The bans are going to be Max, Bonnie, and Tick for Reply Totem, as Zeta Division themselves decided to ban out Jean, Eve, and Max, and we'll see the Gus to follow alongside that Brock pick.
I mean, I like Zeta Vision's comp so far, but you can never count out that LT nowadays. It just seems to be quite strong. You know, we saw some previous teams playing it in maps like this where it's so open. It's dangerous. It really is. You don't even have to go into the more aggressive form where you're leaving your legs behind and going forwards. Piper and Janet are going to be the next 2 picks for Reply Totem, going for a bit more of a ranged approach. I like where they're going with that, and the Piper's always going to be pretty solid, especially against the Brock, stuff like that. You hit him, follow him with a homemade recipe, and he's pretty much off the map.
Yeah, to be honest, what I like a lot was the RT to that extent, as you mentioned on open maps, is you don't need to use your form when, you know, he splits in half. I'll call it a split form, I guess that makes the most sense. But you can still use it if anyone gets over aggressive and gets up close. I mean, it's a 1-shot against like nearly every brawler in the game, right? And if not, it's a 2-shot. So I kind of like that opportunity, as well as it will indirectly shut down tankier and assassin ideas. We'll see the Sprung as the final pick here for Zeta Division. It's a brawler that I don't necessarily mind here, but I don't particularly love it either. I feel like it can be a little bit lackluster and at times fail to really provide the value that you expect from a Sprout. It's one of those brawlers that has so much utility, but there's just no... there's not nearly as many amazing spots to place on your wall as I would like.
Yeah, there's not really that many choke points once you kind of get past the spawn and get into more established fights. Maury down this left-hand side looking for just a few shots onto Meow. Maybe he can get a quick little snipe off and a finish, but so far he's not really had the most luck. Joker now with his homemade recipe out. He's waiting for Maru to maybe make a connection so he can pinch out Jiro. Gets the shots off and forces him to jump back, which means they're going to have a bit of control this mid now. It's a 2v3, but he's looping around quite quick as he's healed up.
Maury struggling to find too many tanks so far. I think that was the first shot he's hit so far onto Meow. Another jump back from the Brawl. He's been burning through his gadgets. Only 1 left now. Interestingly enough, not playing the break as well, which you would kind of expect on this map, just to get easier access to the mid. A nice pickup though from Garo onto Joker. It was stuck in that awkward corner. Now we will find Maori, and that's going to be the team wipe here for Zeta Division. Zeta, for the first time in this match, now taking over the lead. It's only by 1 round so far, but it's the lead nevertheless.
Yeah, there's the wall break from Joker, so he can actually retreat a little bit further than where he got to last time and pinched off. Maury, some good follow-up shots. Homemade recipe goes towards now. He would actually misses regardless of him popping that shield. Wasn't necessary, but you always have to be cautious when you're against a Piper with that kind of ability. Meow just trying to push this to the right hand side now. A little bit of a swap. As Maru really hasn't... I don't even know if Maru's hit a shot this entire game. Never mind really done too much. Wall was placed up quite high, but instantly brought back as Jiro threw a super onto it.
Very defensive on Zeta's side. positioning looking a little bit better for Totem, but I'm just not entirely sure about their comp. Joker looking to jump back, and he will open up the walls, which again I'm not entirely sure about. We'll remove some bushes, which is definitely useful as Meow gets tagged up quite heavily. This has to end up in a kill as Mari is pushing forward, and yeah, that's a moment where the second form comes in. He splits up and helps the rest of his team pick up that team wipe. Now we're all even again, 1 round each, and both teams 1 away from taking the first game of knockout.
Mario just looking for some shots around the left-hand side again, and Mario actually has control of this right-hand side now. I'm not sure if he's got any jumps left. He does still, but Meow is marked up by one of these RT shots and doesn't actually get hit before it runs out, so just has to replace that one onto him as well. But it's good control from Totem. Zeta Division really aren't able to push too far out this spawn, but they've still got to be cautious about overstepping.
It's still very, very slow. Totem do know that if it comes down to the gas closing out the map, the RT is gonna be at its deadliest. They showed that in the previous round. They want to get to that situation again and not give anything away until then. The Rocket Rain is a bit premature from Garo, but it does create some space. Maru getting knocked back, and the RT out of the mix. Meow finding some beautiful connection. It's only Maru left alive. Surely he should get shut down here, and that is going to be Zeta Division picking up this
hit. It pretty much just keeps on getting hit, especially when Sprout established that wall. He can't do anything, and then he just gets pinched in whilst trying to pinch with Joker, and it just didn't pay off whatsoever. A little bit of a swap once again as Jiro comes towards this left-hand side, and Mari going straight back over towards Meow. So this seems like the matchups they want, as they're not the ones rotating, but Mori's kind of moving away, and they've pretty much just given Zeta so much control.
Yeah, to be honest, I am bashing on the RT. I think the biggest problem was the Janet, as it was just not really finding any value, which is a rare thing to see when Maru is the one rocking it, because he's been such a fantastic Janet in the past, but he's getting outranged by everyone. So it's a bit of a struggle to that extent, and the fact that he has piercing shots and AoE damage provides little to no use in this particular matchup, as there is no utility to destroy or nothing that can really get in his way. But Garo is going to be so low. Mari following up, and that's a beautiful kill there. Great team synergy as well from Fly Totem to single out that player, but Maru is giving himself away. It got a little bit scary for a second, but they should be able to dispatch of Naui with ease. Still a little bit closer than I would have liked to see here, all things considered. Joker looking to open up the walls and provide that easier access to the mid for this round and even for the next one.
Yeah, well, we kind of rotated back over to see Maru versus Meow, now over the left side, and Joker, oh, what a homemade recipe there, he finds it out. Jiro doesn't have any gadgets left by the sounds of things, or just used it, wasn't keeping a close eye on that right-hand side, but Mori now finding himself in a great position down there. Doesn't want to overextend too much, as now he can clean him up quite nicely with a little gadget, a little super onto himself. So got to be a little bit cautious, but for now, they're in a great position, 3v2, and Zeta Division not really able to move anywhere.
Yeah, just get a wall. Now he has a shield as well. They need to use them eventually. Maru gonna be jumping back to safety. He's using the jump rather than the drop to base gadget. Joker is so incredibly low. He still stands for now, and it should be smooth like butter here for Reply Totem, but they're giving away a player. Sprout Wall is gonna be placed again, and it's a 2v1, Meow, and oh my goodness, Meow hits both with just a one shot, and what was the freest round ever turns out to be around for Zeta Division now.
Why didn't they just spread out? They could have just took, I mean, even if it took one shot for each of them, it'd have probably died to the zone rather than actually being able to get the kills. So definitely a little bit of an issue there for Reply Totem, and now it's only one round away from them being 2 sets to 1. And in a terrible position from there. Joker now one shot for the Sprout, but managed to retreat and had his jump anyway. But if he is forced to jump away, he's not going to have the best control of the greater map. Now, looking for a little wall down this right-hand side by the looks of things, and Jiro can't aggress too much because he is marked up by that RT, and doesn't want to feed him another shot onto him just too yet.
coming back to that play for a second, Joker had his super as well, so he could have just flown up and hoped that the gas would do the rest. Not sure if he would have had time either way to land back, and I mean, it would be very expected where he would land. Either way, getting back into this round, the gas is closing in. Garo getting aggressive. Shield to helping out. Maori low HP, but he gets in, finds one. Garo is in a 1v2 and one that he will not win as Reply
survived in that last fight there. He should have been killed way before that. One shot to Sprout, one shot to Gus, one shot to pretty much everybody on that roster of Zeta Division, but they just couldn't get him down. And homemade recipes popped by Joker early on, but looking for the prime connection right now and doesn't really want to waste it. So might want to do like a little combo play with Mori onto Jiro.
Well, again, Joker going for that homemade recipe whilst hiding in the bush and trying to escape from, or like not show that to his opposition so he can get that free early tag. It's not quite gonna pay off as Garo just gadgets away anyways. Now placing down a wall that will be isolating Joker, but he's forced to place a more defensive one after he gets tagged up. At the end of the day, that's gonna be quite nice for Reply Totem value-wise, as another gadget is used by Meow. I think he only has one left now. And Maru is very low HP, so is Maru. This is looking rough for Reply Totem as Joker is left in a 1v3, and that's one he shouldn't be winning, but he will break through the wall anyways, which is going to be useful to get back in the mid quicker in round 2.
Yeah, definitely. So they should be able to have better positioning, at least going in the early portion of this one, but pretty much just provide it to Jiro anyway, let him go around that side. And not really taking advantage of what they broke up. Meow in a great position now, though, and pretty much free to just wall off what they've already broken up, which is probably a smart thing to do, but in comes the jump from Maru, and straight away walled, and they're looking for the pinch, but Joker covers nicely for his teammate.
Maru going aggressive against Meow, able to find one shot off, but the Rocket Rain is a problem, and again, Maru falls early. 2v3, and this is a chance for Zeta Division to lock in a set and take the upper hand, as they did in the monthly finals of February. Mari in just such a troublesome situation ends up going down. Joker in a 1v3, and that's one he's not going to be winning.
But you know, it can be a little bit different. Our team might be a bit of an influential brawler, and to be honest, again, it might be through the mid, but I'm not sure if they're going to put their faith in it once again.
Well, it's only going to be one way to find out, and this draft process is going to be crucial if Reply Totem want to have a chance at seeing those grand finals. They were able to make it to the grand finals last month, but they lost them to Zeta Division. This is a chance for revenge here as well, as our bans on the side of Reply Totem, I believe, are going to be the Meg, as well as B and Stu. Zeta Division banning out Squeak, also banning Stu, and then Max, and the first pick will be Penny on their end, as Reply Totem now have 2 follow-up picks to try to counter it.
Yeah, well, clearly didn't want to let that Meg slip over to the Zeta Division side, regardless of how strong they are with it. It's definitely better to not have it in play at all, rather than have your opponents play it and you not be able to at that. Lola's going to be their first pick, though, and surprising to see Lola picked into Penny. Definitely a little bit of a weird one for Reply Totem. Can splash through it pretty easily, and even with that freeze frame, doesn't survive too long, especially if you go down, it's definitely not surviving. And they're going to go with Janet as well. Janet, definitely a versatile brawler. Didn't pay off for them in the last one, but as you said, Maru's very, very capable in that brawler and can make big things happen if they get the right chance.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Janet per se. I think the problem was the matchups. It just was massively outranged by literally everyone, so it wasn't able to get any supers. It wasn't able to give any value. But in the right settings, and already here against a Penny, I feel like it has a much better shot, especially if, you know, there's a salty barrel or a mortar that is also in the vicinity. It can be a quite nice value to have that Janet pick. We'll see Bell as the follow-up here for Zeta Division. Always like Bell. It's a bit of a plain pick in my opinion. It's the most standard sharpshooter in the game, I guess. And it just doesn't have all that much to it. The bouncing shots can be nice though, especially if your opponents are playing a little bit too close up together, and obviously Bell is a pretty fantastic counter to Lola. So was already 2 counters to Lola. That is a little bit of a scary prospect for Reply Totem.
I really like what Zeta Division have got here, I must say. If they can establish a penny turret, if they can get these bell bounces, the penny splashes, the mutes off on the aggressive side as well, then I think they're in a wonderful position. Obviously, Reply Totem still have this last pick, and there's always going to be the possibility of them kind of bouncing back and being able to bring something that counters them all, but as much as I like Carl, I still think Zeta Division have kind of got what it takes to close this one out here, especially with this composition.
I think Zeta have the better comp. I genuinely do, and I think there are ways to make their comp work on the side of Reply Totem, don't get me wrong, and they are a team with incredible mechanics, more so than Zeta as well, but they are gonna need to bring them all out now if they really want to be standing a chance in this one, because to me Zeta have the momentum and they have the comp. Let's see if they can actually close out the match here in 4 sets, or if Reply Totem want to bring it all the way to a 5th. Early on, already a couple tags towards Joker. It's very low HP now, and eventually taken out. Was able to get a little bit of an early start, but with that kill, Zeta quite nicely catch up. Meow placing down an aggressive turret, but it will not be able to find all that value early on. It is Zeta Division though that have very nice control so far. And slowly but surely Joker is trying to push up, but now that he's marked up as well, it's a bit of a dangerous process for him.
Well, Joker's marked up. He definitely won't be seeing them in much longer, but Jiro misses an auto in there. Nice of him to follow up with the next 2, though. Drop the base very, very far back, but Mori's going to pick up this right side, and might be a good idea for Jiro to focus back on that as Maru picks up the left as well. Got a good 12% lead, but it should quickly be taken away. Joker going to walk over both of these nest eggs on purpose there, but let's think so. Very good of him to know where exactly they were. Drop the base, providing so much help here, just scouting out this bush, but another mark placed onto Joker. Meow finally getting this knockback with the turret, but not getting the finish off just yet, and Reply Totem are in a great position.
Yeah, what a comeback from Totem. They struggled in the early stages of this game. Now they have a 15% lead. Garo all tagged up, and Murray having a super on the right lane. They won't be dislodging him from that position anytime soon. They're not really able to create the space they need down in the mid. Joker just juking so nicely. Garrett will be falling, and Reply Totem will be...
At this point, Zeta need to fight back, because I feel like if it goes to that set number 5, Totem might be able to take it. They've kind of got the momentum on their side at this point, but if they lose this set, then they're definitely not going to be in a good position. Need a much better start and kind of hold it off from there. Joker's just playing this mid so well, regardless of this range kind of deficit that he's got. He's just juking flawlessly, not getting hit at all, and just staying on the zone time and time again.
Very nicely done by Joker. There's a strong early start here for Reply Totem. Yeah, we're gonna place down a trap in the mid. Mari going aggressive and claims the kill with the flying hook. Always something fun to see. He will get marked up, but better him than Joker, as he has more mobility and isn't the mid player for Totem. Already past the 50% threshold, and now we will find Joker, so at last something going right for Zeta Division, but they're quite a bit behind by now.
Yeah, the mortar's eventually there as well. Nest egg thrown quite high up from Jiro up there on the point, but flight is going to be used by Maru. Might be able to find Jiro here, but he actually gets the heal off in time. Now he's trying to get the takedown onto Mori, and he does just that. But it's Joker still sitting on the zone. Throws an ego out to the side, so he can't even get hit by the splash either, and that is so smart from him. Can't even miss a shot at that point. So great stuff. Now we're getting the mute again, but even though he's destroying the side, Totem is still on the mid, no matter what happens.
I love it. I love the implementation here of the Lola as well, considering how tough the matchups he has. He is doing just such a fantastic job with it and using the ego in more creative ways than we're used to. Mari locking in the final couple of percentages there, and actually it will be Joker that the Bell that he was facing in mid has less HP, so you know eventually the Bell would be lower HP and forced back rather than himself. Bridge 2-4 for Heist is going to be our 5th and final set here between those two teams, and that one is going to be the map to settle it.
Well, I do like this map. I think it's quite a good one to settle as well. Bit of a long-range affair, as I did just mention. He's going to pretty rely heavily on juking, and if Joker can bring the same jukes he brought to the last one, then he might be able to do just that and take this game down. But still, Zeta Division, I believe they've already played this one just a little bit earlier on. I think they played it in their first quarter-final game. And Bell's going to be the first pick from Reply Totem, taken out of Zeta Division's hands this time. And honestly, after the performance in the last set, you could have just left it and just dodged. Just waiting for Zeta Division's pick now. 8-bit going to be up next, and nice pick from Zeta Division, I will say as well. Got that booster on the road, and obviously going to be able to do such a good job, but it's not the best, I will say, against a Bell, so quite surprising to see it being picked into that. And with Bell being able to bounce the shots back and forward off the 8-bit turret, it's going to be a bit of a difficult one to use, but Nani on top of that as well, taking the range and taking a lot out, pretty much indirectly taking out a lot of these long-range brawlers. It's probably the right thing to take, and the mid-range high DPSs as well. It's pretty much good against all of them.
I like this approach from Zeta quite a bit, to be honest. I think 8-bit can be quite strong here, and as you said, it does get countered a little bit by the Bell, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily the hardest counter either. Depends on how you play it out, and we'll see the mag brought in by Reply Totem. You mentioned earlier how much they like it, and it seems like they like it enough to bring it here on a map where I don't necessarily love it the most. We'll see the Bonnie as their final pick, and I think this is a pretty competent comp here from Reply Totem, as Zeta Division have one more brawler to bring to the mix.
Let's see what they do decide to bring. I like what Reply Totem got so far. They've got the range. Penny's going to be the last pick of Zeta Division, and yet again, I'm going to say, I like both of these drafts. Zeta Division, they seem to have a pretty convincing one. They've just got to be a little bit cautious about the 8-bit with the Bell. If Meg can make these pushes towards safe, which is going to be difficult to do, don't get me wrong, then a lot of damage can rain down, and the same with the Bonnie jumps and stuff as well, so got to be a little bit cautious if you're Zeta Division on that side of things, but if they can keep control, they should be good to go.
Yeah, well, let's see how this 5th and final set is gonna go down. I feel like both teams can definitely work, both comps rather, can definitely work. But it's gonna take this 5th and final set to set those two teams apart. Send one to the grand finals and knock the other one out in the semis.
Yeah, well, Meg without anything's not really going to get a lot. They're all stuck in the left-hand side, trying to leave a 2% del, and at the moment, that's enough. 5% now, and trying to pinch back, get his mech, and get even more damage off the back of that, but at the moment, the bounces are just going in between them as Joker hit a shot. Going to see the big peep come out now, but mech up the other side is just getting so much damage, and the strategy just has not paid off whatsoever.
Yeah, now that he has a mech, it's a whole different story. Very much so. Mari went for a jump in, one that got a little bit awkward, and Joker luckily is there to help out and make things right. Now we're able to just get more and more damage onto that save. Eventually, though, he's gonna get out of the mech, and now he's not nearly as much of a problem. A peep as well, looking for Joker, the TP, but doesn't pay off. Mari connects the shot, and he goes down. Garo is next in line, as Mari already has a nice 2-piece and might even complete the team white. Doesn't seem like he needs to for the time being. A safe approach will also do, and the peep is going to be dodged by Joker. TP behind him, he gets marked up, and somehow that ends up being a 1-for-1 trade. It's a bit of a choke here, as that surely should have been a free kill.
Yeah, at the moment, Totem quite happy to just chill. Got a nice little jump in there from Mori. As I say, they're happy to chill. They just go aggressive. But now some damage coming in from Gero over this right-hand side. Bounces coming off that turret, but just not yet. Now he's going to go over a nest egg and might fall down because of it, but a missed shot from Joker. He's going to be sped back up again after being slowed from that nest egg.
Looking to creep up as Gero places down the damage booster. Arrow is going to be out of the mech. Has all given a bit of a chance for Zeta to go for a comeback, but they're still not quite there, and they're not going to be defending Maru. He's not going to be able to close out the save unless he gets his mech, and he does get it now. Surely they'll be able to hold on to that lead. I'm saying surely, but it's quite close, 14% in it, but it
was pretty much just off a slightly questionable strategy from Zeta Division off the start, pretty much all stuck in the left-hand lane and just Maru getting that mech and getting some damage off the start of it. So if they can play this one just a little bit more strategically, a little bit better, and not try these questionable strats, then they might be able to bring this one back to a double match point.
it was an early mech this time around as well. Maru nicely winning the left lane was a pretty much wasted damage booster to jump in there. A nice TP from Naui. Naui looking for the two-piece, but it's going to be Gero to find the second kill instead. And the Division still going to be very happy with how that played out, because it nearly became a disaster early on. They managed to save face for the time being, as they still double stack that left lane, leave Joker free to get connections onto the safe, and to be fair, he doesn't do the most damage on safe anyways. Maru is going to be knocked out of his mech, and means that there's quite a bit less trouble in that right lane. You know, even giving up on the lane for now.
Yeah, there's a lot of trouble on the other lanes though, as Mori's in a bit of an aggressive position, but knockback thanks to that turret and a takedown. They all might fall here, but he gets straight back into that tank form as soon as he can. More long-range gameplay. They are a little bit behind on the side of the Zeta Division, but nothing a few shots on safe from an 8-bit or a nanny can't fix. Only 5% now, and Joker just trying to push through mid, maybe throw a few more shots onto safe, but also he really does need to pinch as well.
The bell shot is gonna bounce the one time. Now he finds a nice pickup, a little bit cheeky there onto Joker, 3%. They got only one, and eventually it's now Zeta Division in the lead. Maru is gonna get TP'd on. He does have his mech again. We saw how valuable that is. He needs to find the most value with it, as he managed to do in the previous game. This game so far, he hasn't been able to shine nearly as much. Maru gonna get pushed over by the peep, and I mean, you know, you gotta improvise sometimes, and Maru does that very nicely here. Still Zeta Division with a little bit of a lead. Joker and Maru trying to get some damage onto that safe. They are able to catch up, but is that gonna be enough? Because there's 3 players from Zeta Division, make it 2, sorry, that are pushing downwards as well. And surely they'll have enough damage to make.
8-bit was holding the right-hand side really, really well, and they might have doubled the left at certain circumstances, but that's just because Maru is pretty much fine to be left alone. But Joker going to be playing the left-hand lane, and it seems like we might have a little bit of change of strategy from Totem here.
And Joker overextending his welcome there, and now he gets the pickup as well. And very low HP across the board, but they all survive on the side of Zeta. They are taking quite hefty damage onto their safe as well, as Maru was able to get his mech and find some good value onto that red safe. Mortar is going to be placed down, and they are going for a base race on the side of Zeta, but it's not working out whatsoever. It's only now left alive. He gets dealt with as well. And it's a 14% advantage for Zeta Division, but the positioning is going to be better for Reply Totem now.
Yeah, Meg gonna be looking for this mech as well, does find it. That's gonna be Meow down, surely. Salty Barrel in front, but still not mattering too much. Connection from Joker onto Jiro go a long way here, needs to bring him down, finds one, but he guts to heal in between. Not the best position for him to be in. Gonna see that peep hitting him as well and bringing him down, 1% in the lead. Maru's gonna be soon out of this mech, and they're gonna have a much, much more difficult time.
Yeah, the mech running out now. Maru is back to its regular form. Still, Totem with ever so slight lead for the time being. Garo still holding on nicely to that left side as well. The TP there from Naui is going to be a free kill. That's the chance to overextend that lead as the damage booster tanks very nicely for Garo. And that might just do it here for Zeta Division. A single bullet connecting onto that safe will secure it. Reply Totem aren't giving up just yet. However, that kill should very much settle it. They get in range, they get the connection,